Hello, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, as you probably would have only clicked on the title if you wanted to know about this topic, today we're going to be talking about the impacts of farming and the rise of eutrophication. So, I hope you like and enjoy the video, and if you do, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn notifications on, and also maybe share this channel with your friends because they might also receive some help. And without any further ado, let's get into the video. So let's begin our topic on eutrophication. So yeah, this is a cool thumbnail that you probably saw in the starting of the video. We're all familiar with this. That's how you spell impacts of farming, and on the top there's eutrophication. If we get like good amount of people watching this, I might continue this as a series, mention some more topics like monoculture farming, and please comment down below if you want that to happen. And it's by Ruhaan, that's my name, if you didn't know already. So first, as you probably would know, I start the video with an index, a plan. We're first gonna be talking about the current situation of the world in context with eutrophication, definition of eutrophication, then there's going to be a detailed explanation, the problem, and some solutions science has to offer. There's going to be an interacting factor, for example, economics or environmental, you'll know that later in the video, and bibliography, and the end. Yeah. So first we have a situation Reefs I. So our situation is the population of Earth is increasing, as you probably would have known, and as a mirroring action, the food demand is also rising, which is a fact, and it's genuine to happen. It's normal to happen. But due to that, food production raises, excessive farmland and factories are built in a certain area. So they're just mass building these factories crammed up to in this area. A lot of farms in that area, because we're actually running out of area to make it residential or farm. Fertilizers are used to make the crops grow faster, to fulfill the demand of the population, and sedimentation takes place. Sedimentation in this case is basically of algae and phytoplankton. And then the last stage is eutrophication. So let's get into the basics of eutrophication. So eutrophication is also known as hypertrophication. So if you search either of the words, it's correct for you. Eutrophication refers to an over-enrichment of water bodies by certain nutrients, specifically like phosphorus and nitrogen. It also includes potassium, but that's a minimal side to it. You might already know phosphorus and nitrogen are two of the three major ingredients found in fertilizers. Chemical-based fertilizers, to be specific. Fertilizers are used in plants, and then natural occurrences such as rain or storms, which are destined to happen, drains the fertilizers from the plants into water bodies, and that happens because of equilibrium, and you might learn that later. Because of rich nutrients, excessive amount of algae or phytoplankton starts to form, basically sedimentation. And then organisms drain away significant amounts of oxygen and prevent sunlight from entering the water, meaning that the animals like fish are not receiving enough oxygen, and the plant life is not receiving enough light or oxygen, meaning the ecosystem beneath the water dies. And factory waste is also a big reason for eutrophication because it includes large amounts of nitrogen. The detail, we talked about this. If you want to read it, you can have a quick read. I'm gonna pause the video on this, but I might explain some parts. and it's affecting a completely different. The scale is different, can be massive for eutrophication. So either eutrophication can take place in small ponds or it can take place in bigger lakes. But one factual information is it normally takes place on still water because moving water like rivers drain away the excessive nutrients while still water stays there. That's why it's more common in still water, but the scale can vary. So the problem is excessive farming. Something has happened. Most farmers and factories mainly locate around lakes or ponds because it can come as a natural source of nutrients or moss or water, indeed, for the plants. Extensive fertilizers are used in crops to enhance their growth. The water follows its trailer because plants are planted on these high grounds and there are trenches of water, and then the water, if it takes down the fertilizer, it's going to flow through there and into the water body. Nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium can cause the algae bloom, which is sedimentation, and it produces a lot of ammonia, and all the previously mentioned things take place, like fishes dying, algae overpopulation, plants life dying because of the lack of sunlight, and it's a really big problem in most farms. So the solution is, there are two types of solutions. Either eutrophication has happened, and this is the post-eutrophication solutions. So neutralize the water. Phosphorus and nitrogen are both heavy alkalis, mainly causing the water to support life because of the base in it. Whilst if you can neutralize this, hopefully most of the algae life dies off and the sunlight starts reaching the plants and the animals. Remove the algae and introduce new fishes / animals like algae eater. It's a fish, it's really small, about like 3 inches in size, and if you put a significant amount of those fishes, they're not harmful to any other creature. They just eat algae off the coast or off the top of the water body. This is a very useful tactic, but I've never seen any farm do this. Populate the number of trees across the pond, because then the trees will require nutrients and they will start sucking the nutrients into their roots, which mainly will start making the water more pure again. Whilst it's not a very significant amount, so you need to probably first clear out the algae, neutralize the water, and then introduce trees to stop it from happening. So pre-eutrophication, recycle the fertilizer. It's possible to create a simple pocket by the end of the trench, and that pocket can store all the washed away water and fertilizer, and later you can use that water to fertilize your plants again, which is a very helpful way and a low-cost tactic. Planting trees, I've discussed this. Organic fertilizers, yes, that's a thing. You can make them yourself. For example, cow dung, and I found this on Amazon. There's like chicken soup fertilizers. They seem to be quite popular, and these fertilizers have significantly low amounts of phosphorus and nitrogen and will not excessively eutrophiate the pond or lake. And now we're going to be talking about the economics required in the solution and who profits and who pays for everything. So most of the solutions involve making a switch of products. So example, I mentioned the chicken soup filter fertilizer, and that particular bottle is 2 liters and it costs $30 US. And the normal chemical fertilizer, however, costs around $25 with similar volumes. And as you probably see, it's you're getting in a loss if you use that, but if you think about the future, you're actually profiting as a farm owner, because if you're as a farmer owner putting the money into this, you are the one going to be profiting from this. So how are you gonna profit? The extra amount of money spent on fertilizers is saved when you do not need to de-eutrophication your pond or river, because these ponds and rivers are essential parts of the farm, because they provide some natural nutrients and fresh water, which fertilize the whole land, which irrigate the whole land. And de-eutrophicating such lakes and ponds, its cost can go up to hundreds of dollars, which you see you're saving here. And the profit would be mainly for the owner of the farm. However, such early funding would be required. So you need to be willing to take that early risk to receive the future profit, as I think it works normally like that in all economics. But the choice is yours, but it's very useful to switch from eutrophication possible products to somewhat organic products, or like cow dung, which does not really cost much, unless if you have cows. Cow dung is like basically for free to a point. It's my bibliography. These are all the sources that I used. These are not for the pictures, but most of the sources gave me a lot of information, so I didn't need to go around checking the web. And this is the end. I'm sorry for the quality. And yes, thank you for watching the video. Enjoy your quarantine. A thing or two. Let's get on with it right now without any assault. Eutrophication can also have a big major impact throughout long-term years, more than I mentioned before, and it's very related to economics and environment. So, eutrophication will make the water rich in phosphorus and nitrogen, which are alkaline, as I told you before. However, crops mainly prefer acidic soil. By acidic, I don't mean extremely like pH 3 acidic, more like pH 6 or pH 5.5 acidic. And if a pond or a lake beside your farm consists of alkaline water, it's going to be evaporated, and most of the clouds and the rains in your area are mainly going to be rich in alkaline. And if you think about it, this turns into a paradox if nothing is done about it. Alkaline water, evaporate, condensate, rain, alkaline soil, plants are not growing as well. Farmer adds in more fertilizers, lake, more alkaline water, evaporation, condensation, rain, and over the long term, this can dehydrate your soil and make it incapable of supporting crops. And this might lead up to a point where you have to stop farming or sell your farm. So eutrophication is a serious topic. It needs to be acknowledged and it needs to be acted upon. And this is the final statement. So if you enjoyed the video, remember to like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy your quarantine and stay indoors if you don't want to have coronavirus. Bye and peace out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's